Hello, you're listening to No Kids, No Pain. I'm Romina Puma.
And I'm Luca Cupani, and this podcast is about the choice of being child-free.
Each week we will explore the topic of choosing not to have kids.
And we would love to hear from you too.
If you decide to be child-free,
Don't feel guilty, this is the podcast for you.
and if you have kids,
Here's what you're missing out.
welcome to a new episode of No Kids, No Pain. I'm here as usual with my co-host Luca Cupani.
Hello, hi Romina, welcome, thank you.
How
Thank
are you?
I'm good, I'm always happy. You know,
Happy, yeah,
always happy.
he's a happy one. He's
Despite
a
the weather
good.
and that it's dark.
Yeah, no,
but
I'm
you're
always
right.
miserable. That's our thing. But now, as usual, we have a guest.
Yes, we do.
today. Yes, we have a guest, and I met this guest on one of my tour gig in a way. I was touring. Let's make it look like that's really good. You're touring.
You were
Yeah.
touring, you were
Yeah, I was
exploring
touring.
which part of the UK?
Scotland and the north of England.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we did this gig together and I met him there. And
The guest is a comedian.
he's a comedian. He's a very good comedian. I went to see one of his shows and it was really, really good. And without any further ado, I think we should introduce our new guest.
Yes.
So, he's here with us, Ben Lund-Conlon.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
welcome. Hello, Ben.
I felt compelled to clap myself.
Yeah,
I was
let's
about to
go.
clap, then I thought I'm the only one.
This isn't Radio 2. It's fine.
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah. How are you, Ben?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It's
Ah,
lovely to be here.
Thank you for coming. I'm so pleased to have you here. We had, as I was saying, we had this little trip together in
Scotland.
Scotland, gigging.
We did. We had a road and rail trip.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
good.
yeah, and
Nice.
experience a bit of wheelchair access stuff.
Yes.
That was quite something. Sometimes, will the assistants be here? Who knows? God knows. How am I going to get out of the train? I don't know. But it was all good. It was good. All good.
I quite enjoyed being your official companion on the train and being brought right past all of the waiting crowds in Glasgow train station. That was lovely.
That's nice. The
Yeah.
sort of little advantage of being friends with Romina.
Yeah, I always say, have a disabled friends. You get some benefits.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
That's
amazing. Yeah. But, as the podcast says, no kids, no pain, the first questions comes, easy. Do you have any kids?
I do not have any kids. No.
As you're aware.
That I'm aware of. Yes.
And the second question would be if you are like child-free by choice or you really, really want a kid and then...
I guess I'm child-free by choice. I've never decided to have kids, but I've also not ruled it out either.
Okay, yeah, it's
It's
a
just,
possibility.
it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
But that's not through, I haven't been trying and it's been failing. It hasn't been the right time yet.
Yeah. But it's something that, if the right time comes, then it's something that you would consider.
Yeah, maybe. I always, so I was thinking about this, and I've always sort of assumed, maybe it's quite an arrogant assumption, I've always thought I would be a really good dad, I think.
Oh, I like
and
it.
when I was growing up, I
Uh-huh.
always kind of expected to be a parent, and I always sort of looked forward to having kids and being a dad, and I thought, I really like
Nice.
that. And then as I've got older and older, I've always just thought, well, that would be lovely, but not yet. Not yet, though. And now, I'm 33 now. It's sort of yet is getting closer and closer, and I still just feel like not yet. I don't know when so I don't know if I will ever feel ready, really. But
But for males, it's not like we don't have the
The biological clock
Yeah, we don't. or
is
it's-
ticking.
yeah, it's less of an issue, certainly.
Yeah,
Yes.
but is there a significant other that is
Yes, so I have a partner, and she I think we're in quite a similar place actually. I think we've had this conversation a bit. We've been together a little over 2 years now, and we've just moved in together. And yeah, well, I think we're both we're not averse to the idea of having kids. It's just we've both kind of thought, well, that would be lovely, but not yet.
Is she a comedian or?
She's not a comedian.
Good.
No.
In a couple, I feel that it's good if there's someone who's not a comedian.
Yeah, from a different kind of field.
Yeah, well, she actually works in theatre, but she works in wardrobe and costume.
Okay,
nice.
So she actually, she gets more work in the theatre than I do. But she has done everything in her power to make her career absolutely not on stage.
Okay.
She's not comfortable performing at all. So I think that's
but some people they like it behind the scenes. You enjoy the performance from behind the scenes. It's really
also,
nice.
Behind the scenes is always there. People on stage they change, but you can have a bit more of stability or even career.
But is this not yet because you want to focus more on your career, or?
I think so. I think it's a feeling of not feeling settled enough. And also, like I said, I mean, I've only been with my current partner a little over 2 years. It's not a hugely long time, and so obviously, I've been in previous relationships which have been of sort of similar lengths of time, and it's never quite felt like
it was the right time.
Now is the right time. And in my career, I am a comedian. I'm performing, but also I've still got a day job as well to help sustain that career, and trying to find that balance. And always thinking, well, when I'm making millions of pounds through comedy, I can have my kids. That's not going to happen. So
because if you have a day job and your dream job as a comedian or whatever, the arrival of a child would
be tricky.
Because the dream job
they
tends to be sacrificed.
Because you're already basically doing 2 jobs, and doing 2 jobs and having a baby. I don't see. I mean, I've met other comedians who have had babies while performing and having a day job, and I don't know how they do it. It's crazy.
Probably their partners, maybe they manage to, I don't know, to do more. Who knows? But may I ask you, do you have siblings or any brother, sister?
No, so I'm an only child.
And is there any pressure from the family side?
Not really, actually. I don't think my family have ever really put pressure on. I mean, I know my mum would have absolutely loved to have a grandchild, but she never but any pressure on me. And then she passed away a few years ago. That's not a pressure anymore. And but my family have been really good, and they've never put any pressure on me.
Yeah, I think that's because you're British. If you were Italian,
yes, in Italy there's
good luck.
Parents are very good at putting pressure on whatever they want the kids to do.
Thankfully, my parents, they never put any. Well, they knew me, so they know that there is no chance here whatsoever. And to be honest, I was in Italy last week. And I always go around this time my dad has an annual appointment with the neurologist, and it's always at this time of year. So once a year I go there because I need to take him there, and I take this occasion to to spend a bit of time with the rest of I have cousins there. And obviously I have one that is my favorite. All the others I don't care, but I invite them because you have to, in a way. You can't just I don't care about you. I think they know, but So a couple of years ago I did a dinner, and I said never again. So this year I only did a little quick gathering. I said, just come over for a coffee and a slice of panettone.
Perfect.
That's it. A little chat, and then.
Okay, and then you can't
go.
Okay, good.
Then go. And so they came. Not all of them, because one was sick, and I was like, yes.
What a lovely family member you are.
Yes, I'm lovely. And but the one that came, so my favorite.
We say hello to the sick member, whoever he is.
Yeah. So the one that came, my favorite one, they have a daughter, and I love her. She's really, she's really good. But the other one came, they had 2 kids, and obviously, even the good one, when he's in company, becomes a bit of a naughty one.
Of course, yeah.
So my dad's flat, the living area, is quite big. Consider it's nearly double this room.
This is already quite a big room.
Yeah, and that is double. It's very big.
Nice.
And these 3 kids, they started running around the sofas and jumping over the sofa and jumping on a puff that he's got there to put feet up and running around. My dad and I, at some point, we looked at each other and just because Italians, we can speak without actually talking.
Sure, yeah.
Just with the face, the expression was, when are they going? When is it? Because I'm just, I'm getting a bit itchy now.
Were the parents aware of the kids behaving like cats? By the way, if you're a cat, you're perfectly...
Yeah, look, my cat, she's still. She doesn't run around.
True.
Well, sometimes she does, but for 2 minutes. Those ones, it was like an ongoing thing. I said, will they ever stop? And so eventually... The one with the 2 kids, they're a bit tired. No, don't say. And so we're going home. And I was like, yeah, the time has come. And so they left finally. It's just, I don't know. Do you have experiences like this where, I don't know, you go to friend's house that they have kids and it's just too much. And that makes you think, no, it's not the right time ever.
I don't know if I've had that experience exactly, but I think I've definitely... So my partner has 3 nieces,
Okay.
who are all under 12, and they're really great. So I've hung out with them a little bit, and they're really lovely to meet, and I always enjoy hanging out with that side of the family. Mm-hmm. But I've never felt, this is a bit much, but it's always nice to then go home and leave them
yes.
where they are. It's so seeing it sort of close up again. I kind of feel like, well, they're sort of settled. They've got this lovely house and a dog, and they've got this lovely family dynamic. I don't know if I'm again ready to be in that situation or So again, it's sort of it's nice to hang out with the kids, but I wouldn't want to, at the moment, have that them permanently.
Yeah. It makes you think, when you see that dynamic, and it makes you think, will I have that kind of same dynamic, or would it be different? Because then, also kids is always the reflection of the parents.
Yeah, but also I think something that it's... a lot of people don't necessarily reckon with is the kids are also, obviously they're a mixture of everything the parents have given them, but they're their own people as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can see even from really early on, they develop their own distinct personalities, and it's it's kind of amazing. You go, I want to meet these new people and find out what they're like, but also you have no idea, there is no way of knowing what they're going to be like.
Yeah. You might not like them, but if they are your kids, you can't...
You have to like them.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't hang around... You won't spend time with them if you knew them. Like, I don't know, maybe there are some parents somewhere who's... I'm not saying regretting, but maybe they wouldn't spend time with their own kids if they were just friends or people...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a feeling, but... When you were mentioning the nice family, very Christmassy gathering you had, very perfectly the spirit of Christmas, that made me think of an article that we read about a place in America that was a restaurant that apparently makes parents pay more if the children don't behave.
If they don't behave. But even if they behave, they charge you anyway.
No, but that's what because there was this interview to the parents who were complaining. They said, well, our kids were angels, magnificent.
Maybe according to them.
That's the point. Yeah. So for the parents, I think if you're used to your kids, maybe, if you are used to, I don't know, having kids waking you up at 6 a.m. even on a Sunday, maybe shouting a lot and screaming, you get used to it. Yeah, it's yours. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But so when the mother, the father was saying, oh, in the restaurant, my kids were so well behaved. I couldn't believe how well behaved they were.
And I still got charged $50 or something.
It could be the owner of the place is too strict. It could be that what is extremely well behaved for the family maybe is that the kid didn't, I don't know, throw the nappies in other tables, which maybe they do at home. Who knows?
What do you think?
So yeah, I saw this, and I don't know. I think I'm on the side of the parents in that mostly, just from the vibe I got. So in fact, if you'll, I'm going to get the article out because there was something I saw that like I think really. So there's this bit at the bottom of the menu that's like adult surcharge for adults that are unable to parent. We will charge this extra thing. Yeah. But also there are a few other things on that menu that made me slightly wonder about, like, I mean, firstly I kind of think, well, people in the world have kids, and if you're running a restaurant, like a restaurant is a public service and it's a public place, and like if you really want to like ban kids from your place, like put that out there and like make it adults only to have this sort of surcharge and this sort of
but then it looks a bit dodgy, like if you say adult only, it's like, oh, what's going on in there?
But there were a few other bits on the menu that made me really sort of slightly worried as well, because there were also, just after the the unable to parent surcharge, there was also a share charge. Like if you basically, I think that what that means is like, if you order one thing to share between two people, you have to pay an extra $3 for the privilege of washing up an extra set of cutlery. Like, and I kind of feel that's really like, especially on people that like might not be earning so much, they might not have so much money, and they might.
Or like me, I don't eat very much.
Yeah.
So sometimes I end up just ordering a starter.
Yeah.
Or if I have a main. I share it with my boyfriend because I don't eat much, and I don't like
that's fine, and like you should
food.
And you should be allowed to like order however much or as little as you want without having to pay an extra
absolutely
charge for, and then there's also cash discount. The prices listed on our menu reflect our cash price. Our regular price includes 3.5% non-cash adjustment. So basically,
if you use the
card, you have to pay more. And again, that just feels like a tax avoidance or tax dodging.
A little bit less,
And so, like, I don't like this guy. I don't trust him. I think
the restaurant looks lovely, I have to say, but yes, they are. They are very proud of the piece, because I'm looking at the website as well, and it's they say about peace, and.
But I wonder if people go there. I assume they do.
Maybe if there are places that are only for.
One of the reviewers saying, if you have kids, don't go there. Don't go. Yeah.
And like that, I think the family that were interviewed in the article, they were saying obviously in their eyes their kids were being really well behaved.
Yeah.
Obviously,
who knows
what the truth is? But like, I think like the example they gave was that during the meal the kids were sat quite quietly, and then while the dad was sorting out the bill, the kids with their mum went outside and had a run around. Yeah. And then part of it was they were like, oh well, your kids were running around outside, so that's. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, kids need to run around, and like, we're better to do it. Like, they weren't like your little nieces and nephews like running around in a little confined space. They went outside and like were doing that.
Yeah, and it's fine. I mean, for me, if my dad, like for instance, if my dad had a garden, just go outside, go in the garden and run around as much as you want. But inside, like for me, like I used to work as a waitress. And when we had kids, I was just like, oh. And sometimes you have these kids that they run around, but you go around with hot plates with hot food on it. Sure. And you can trip on them, they can get hurt. And so some parents really are the worst.
For those who are wondering, because the website is, we are talking about the Tocoa Riverside restaurant. If anybody is in Georgia, US, if somebody, just maybe one of our listeners might go there next week and say, I want to visit.
Don't go with kids.
Furry friends are welcome. So unless you can dress up your kid like a dog, and because I mean, how well behaved a dog is, honestly, they usually either they sleep or they are overexcited. They never in a normal state
Well,
of mind. So.
if they don't bark, then it's fine. When they
Yeah,
start
but there's no
barking
surcharge for
for
no.
a water bowl.
No, and not even if, I mean, what if the dog is a bit excited, maybe he waited,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
it could be. They don't, so,
I'm sure they'll find some other charges for that as
but
well.
I found the loophole.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just dress up your
I mean,
kid
in a
like
way,
him.
what I would say is maybe that is a bit extreme. that restaurateur, but sometimes I know that restaurant is a public place, but when your kids start running around in a restaurant, that is not acceptable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Like when when it's within the restaurant and
Yeah.
like they might be disturbing, like like I've been in sort of public places where like kids have not been looking where they're going, like have run straight into me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I mean I've nothing against the kid. The kid is just being a kid, but like
Yeah.
that is I feel like the parent should be taking.
Yeah.
Maybe the parents wanted to get rid of the
Yeah.
kid and make him look like...
But yeah, and so there are obviously like appropriate places and inappropriate
Yeah.
places to run around, and like you say, in a restaurant where people are carrying plates of hot food and stuff, it's
Yeah.
maybe not appropriate, and they should sort of that it should be expected that parents should keep their kids slightly
yeah.
more controlled. But
Yeah.
yeah, like again in this story of them sitting down but then running around outside, like
Yeah.
great.
But my cousin and some of my friends as well, often they pick a restaurant based on if they have a kids play area.
Oh, yeah, so they can...
So then they can
playground
have
there,
food.
yeah.
They eat wherever they eat, but they go and play,
True.
with the lots of bowls and all that. But even as a kid, I have this memory that we used to go to this place. It was a pizzeria, and it only had like a couple of swings and probably one slide. That was it. It wasn't very much. But we used to go there because my mom said, okay, you have wherever you want of pizza, and then off you go and play, and don't run around here.
So I have to admit that the picture of the places, there's not a human being in sight. Like there's never, you would expect in a restaurant to see at some point
custom.
someone, like gallery, this is the gallery, and there's just no one.
There is where people throw
There's a very sad,
themselves.
happy chair, a wooden yellow
Those
chair.
big ones.
It's a big, I don't know, happy chair.
Yeah.
If you don't write that is a happy chair, you would never guess it's a happy chair.
It's a happy chair.
And no one,
Yeah,
like
no one's
Overlook
in.
Hotel,
Look at
The
that.
Shining.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look how nice and quiet it is in this restaurant.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
come and enjoy some peace.
The level of quiet, that's probably, maybe the kids were very well behaved, but they were breathing.
Yeah.
And this
And
is
that
something
wasn't
the
acceptable.
Yeah,
happy chair doesn't
I feel like that restaurateur needs to like close up shop and like I don't know, maybe start a library or something. Like
Yeah.
I think that's possibly more appropriate.
Could
Probably, yeah.
It's like the Spoon
And-
River.
Just keep out the kids section.
Oh yeah,
in that
an
library.
adults only
An
library.
adult only.
But they have a kids menu.
Ah,
I just found, and the dog-friendly seating, probably
yeah.
the same.
in the same area.
Visit our happy chair. But why would I visit a very sad? Because it's big, maybe.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
it's
the
one of
owner
those
of the
big
restaurant
ones.
are
The
listening,
people
we
take a photo and sometimes are those those beach chair that are very, very big in some places. that
Yeah,
you
I
can
think.
take.
I mean, I don't know. The fact that it's called, as you say, the fact that it's called a happy chair, like, doesn't look particularly happy. That feels like a euphemism for like, is it basically the naughty step?
Yeah.
If the kids are being too disruptive, go and sit on the happy chair.
the only
Silly.
almost living creature is a fish that doesn't look that alive in the picture.
Oh, that
because
fish looks so sad.
Yeah,
because it just got caught and
Yeah.
he's about to end. But
on a plate.
seafood, yes, fresh local ingredients.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, one day when we have a trip to America, we might go and
We
have a
skip that
live.
restaurant.
No, maybe we have a live
No, you wanna
podcast.
go and see it.
This is not definitely live at all. There's a huge amount
No.
of meat that
Yeah.
looks very dead.
But I wanted to ask you another question. You said are in a relationship. Has anyone ever asked you, when are you going to have kids?
So I feel like I must have been asked that question at some point in my life, but it not often at all, and certainly not recently. I think sort of, like I said, my family aren't particularly pushy on that.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I might get sort of some old family friend, or if I go back home and go to my parents' church or something, and there'll be some old bid, old biddy that's just like, oh, have you got any kids yet? Although they seem to forget how old they still think I'm at university, even though I left to go to university 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, you still studying? No.
Yeah, no.
So I don't. It's not a question I get very often, which I think I'm very lucky in that, because I know a lot of people, especially women, get asked that a lot.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it is.
And I just think it's such a rude question. And I mean, like we've discussed, like my not having any kids so far is a choice. It's not like I've been trying and failing or anything. But there are plenty of people out there that have been trying and not being able to, and maybe like there've been some really upsetting or tragic circumstances around it, and like to just casually drop it's like people drop it as if it's a really casual question, but actually there could be something really dark or really sad that will upset people around it.
And also like it is a personal question. If you're very friendly with someone, you probably know already, because there at some point they might have told you. But if it would be like asking someone what's their salary. Someone you don't know very well. By the way, how much did you make this month? You don't ask. You feel rude asking that question, but somehow people don't feel rude asking, "Hey, I noticed you're a woman.
Are you fertile?"
I mean, it happened to me literally at the airport.
Really?
Now,
Just a random stranger.
Yeah, so I was there waiting again on the way to Italy. The flight was 3 hours delayed, so we were there waiting. So God knows what's going to happen, because lots of flights were cancelled. So there was this other family. It was the mother, the daughter, and the daughter of the daughter. So
were they Italian?
So they've been living in Italy for nearly 30 years, but they're from Albania.
Still Mediterranean.
Still Mediterranean.
Same.
And so we were hanging around, because we had both the assistants, because the mother couldn't walk very well, so she was in the wheelchair. So we were all there, and they never had the assistant, so they didn't know how it worked. And so they asked me, and so we chatted a bit. And then all of a sudden, do you have kids? And I was like, no, I hate kids.
Okay.
It's
just to
because I do sort of feel like, so like I said, it's a long time since anyone asked me this, but I do kind of feel like, because I've got that privilege of the fact that it is by choice and like nothing bad has happened, on behalf of the people who maybe have got a sadder backstory for whatever it is, I kind of feel like I want to shut it down in that way. And like if someone were to ask me, oh, why don't you have any kids, like say something really horrific and or just
to make them feel
bad, just to make them think twice before asking that question.
No, absolutely.
Because also so like I think the most sort of similar situation I think that does happen to me quite regularly is, particularly, there's one of my stepdad's neighbours, and very nice, we get on very well, but literally every time I see her, she will always comment on my weight. And usually she's trying to be complimentary, and she'll try and say, oh, you've lost weight, whether I have or not, I don't know. And I haven't always had the best relationship with my body, and sometimes I've been heavier, sometimes I've been lighter, whatever, but like she'll just and recently I did make a concerted effort to lose some weight, and she and then she was like, oh, so what made you want to lose all that weight? And I just went, well, I didn't want to be so fat anymore. Like, what do you expect? I mean,
your face put me off food for a while.
or just I had some debilitating illness and I couldn't eat or something. And these people just drop these huge intrusive questions in small talk. I think it's really rude.
It is.
It's not small talk at all. I agree. So
absolutely. And I find liberating when they ask that question and then I answer back with something that, so they feel bad and they regret I wish I didn't ask that question. So that's how you should feel.
Yeah.
Because it's inappropriate. You don't know what the reason why
And it's not.
I don't have kids or whatever, or I lose weight or I put on weight. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
just mind your own business.
yeah. If it had been the other way around, if she'd sort of said, "Oh, you seem to have put on a lot of weight," I was like, "Yes, I was incredibly depressed actually, and I
Again,
self-medicated through pub lunches." Like this is.
Because I thought about you and I got suddenly sad,
Yeah.
and then I had the urge to eat, but then I thought about your face and I stopped eating.
Yeah.
So it's kind of balanced
Yeah.
itself.
But I think on this note,
Of the
people
intrusive
watch
neighbor.
out to our answers if you ask silly questions.
Just practice some real small talk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you-
Stick to your small talk.
And if you really
The
want-
weather.
Yeah, if you really want to know someone, you have to befriend them. Become
Yeah.
so very good friend that at some point they will let you know about themselves a bit more. If you don't
Yeah.
want to do the effort, just keep your curiosity for yourself, I think. And
Yeah.
by all means, visit the Toko Riverside restaurant.
Yeah.
Because I really need to see the happy chair. Someone sitting on. Probably you can't sit on the happy chair. You can only visit the happy chair. The
You
moment
need a ladder to get
the
out
moment
there.
you use it, oh, you ruined it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Now
that's
you-
what. Maybe we need to send the horribly intrusive people to that restaurant and
Yeah.
ask the people running the restaurant. So why don't you have kids? Because there seems a lot of sadness and anger around kids, and I feel like I think they need some therapy. basically.
Yeah.
And
Probably.
not a single human being inside. So that's what. Imagine being the first couple that kids. I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll be honest. Even I wouldn't go there if I'm the only one. But I'm sure it's a lovely restaurant. We don't want to have any lawsuit. So
Yeah.
lovely restaurant. And if you want to know more about Ben, our guest, where can they see you? Where they can follow you on the social media? and
Yeah,
stuff?
good. So I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I am at BenGLC for Greater London Council, and I'm currently at the time of recording, I've just filmed my latest stand-up hour show. It's called Lies, Damned Lies, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Great.
It's a comedy show about Buffy, death, and statistical analysis.
It's really good. I went to see that show. Really good.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you came along to the one that was filmed. didn't
Yes,
you? So,
yes. So you
good.
can see me at the back.
Can
Yeah.
hear your laughter.
So hopefully by the time this comes out, I'll have that out and available to watch. So if you look at my social media, I'm sure I won't be shutting up about it.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
So that brings us to the end of the episode.
Yes.
And as usual, you can get in touch with us by sending an email at nokidsnopain@gmail.com or
yes. Or by
social media,
social media, one word, no kids, no pain, on Instagram and
Twitter.
Yeah.
But we use more Instagram,
More Instagram,
anyway.
but yeah.
So send us the messages there.
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
next time. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.